Hey, Scott Wilkinson here, editor of AVSforum.com and host of the Home Theater Geeks podcast. I'm talking with Robert Zohn, founder and president of Value Electronics, a retailer in Scarsdale, New York, and host of the Value Electronics Flat Panel Shootout, the 11th annual running of which is right here at CE Week. We're very excited about it.
Thank you, Scott. We're very happy to be here and to expand it to a wider audience.
Now we have 4 TVs, the flagships from Sony, Samsung, LG, and Panasonic. And really, tell us about the shootout itself, what's involved, what is your goal?
Thanks very much. Well, I've been evaluating video and televisions for the past 20 years. And about 10 years ago, we decided to take my idea more publicly, where I would take the TVs and put them side by side so we can really carefully evaluate the differences in the attributes of picture quality. And it gave us a better feeling for determining which TVs can deliver a better picture in both contrast and color accuracy and resolution, motion resolution particularly. It was a very keen way of evaluating the TVs, and as you can see, it's caught on to be quite a mainstream event.
And one facet of this event is that you make sure that all the TVs are calibrated very carefully to be on a level playing field.
That's correct, and we've employed the top calibrators, among the top calibrators, a team of 4 calibrators that are perfectionists in this, and we've searched around the globe to find them. So they come from all over the world. Yeah, it's quite a team.
And then you bring in people, enthusiasts, just consumers really, who have an interest in this, and have them evaluate these TVs on various criteria.
That's correct. So it was always led by Kevin Miller, actually, who's an ISF Level 2 instructor, and he runs it pretty much like an ISF training class, where we guide the audience, and the audience are very serious enthusiasts. So they're very skillful video experts themselves. We guide them through the SMPTE and ITU test and measurements, teaching them what we're looking at in those patterns, showing content that exploits the good and bad, so we can evaluate and see what we see on the test patterns, how does that really show up in content. And from there, they get a good education. We vote on each and every one of the attributes. We also have a separate voting ballot for the professional team as well.
This is new this year, where we have a much larger audience, I think, than in the past. So, and many of them are professional TV reviewers and professional calibrators. They're going to evaluate the TVs from their professional perspective, and we'll take a look at that as compared to the evaluation of the educated but still amateur consumers.
Correct, and that's, I thought, was a very good idea of yours. I want to thank you for that. I thought that was brilliant, and we are doing that. So we'll have tabulating the results separately. They're going to get a different ballot that'll be colored differently, and those, we're not going to identify who those people are, but we're going to give the results out as well as the results of the enthusiast general public. And there'll be approximately 250 voting this year is our estimate.
Wow, that's a big crowd. That becomes almost statistically significant.
Yes, almost. That's right.
Well, you know, I mean, it's self-selected to people who are coming to CE Week, who are on the East Coast, generally able to come out. Although I imagine there are some people coming from farther away.
We have several folks actually flying in from California and Texas and Illinois. So there's a lot. We're bringing in some people that are interested in the shootout and participate quite often from quite a distance away.
Now, the one interesting thing about this year is that all of the TVs are UHD, or 4K, as it's sometimes called. I tend not to wish it were so, but it is. It's a marketing term. Yeah. They're close. Anyway, this is the first time there's no 1080p set in the competition.
That's right. This is the first time because we're only picking the flagship models. The world is transitioning to 4K. It's also the first time that they're all full array local dimmed, other than the OLED that's an emissive display. So there's no edge-lit TVs. That's a first. And they're all capable of firmware upgrades for wide color gamut, as well as possibly high frame rate, but definitely we're going to see high dynamic range for sure on all of these TVs.
At some point in the future. The Samsung currently has that capability, but we're not exploiting it in the shootout because the other TVs don't.
I think that's only partly true a little bit, because they tell me that unless they create the contact and unlock something, they have not given that to the public yet.
Samsung hasn't.
That's my understanding. I could be
Well, I would choose beg to differ in that the MGO, this download service, now has 4 HDR movies that can be and are now being downloaded into Samsung TVs by consumers, such as members of the AVS forum, to actually see high dynamic range content on their Samsung TV, which to me is a huge deal.
My understanding is it's limited to IP over the internet as well as USB, but not HDMI. So
That is correct. You are correct about
we
that.
are agreeing, right? As we always do.
We end up doing all the time anyway. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us, and best of luck.
Thanks very much.